Good evening, good evening, good evening again. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. We are going back to that horrible world known as the JRC before we do the disclaimers. And yes, I found another thing in the paragraph we just went over that instead of going to the next paragraph, I feel a need to address. So, disclaimers first. If you are unfamiliar with the Stop the Shocks campaign or the campaign against the troubled teen industry, you're going to find all the pertinent links right there in the description box. Please, in particular, if you see the Neuroclastic article, read it. You know the drill. They have been threatened by JRC with a defamation lawsuit because of it, which means it's good. So read it, share it. If you have a little bit extra, I know things are tight after the holidays, but if you could just shoot at least about around 50 cents in their general direction, we do have the GoFundMe up in case the JRC ever decides to actually see through with any of their threats. When we talk about places like the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center, Agape Boarding School for Boys, you are going to hear some vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of people with mental health issues and disabled people being tortured and abused. If you do have young children present, please use your headphones. This channel is marked not for kids for a reason. We do use profanity, although we're trying to get better with that, and we absolutely speak on dark subjects. If your kid is 16 and younger and watching this, parental supervision as a please very much advised, sorry. JRC is literally the gaslighting, victim blaming capital of planet Earth. I am convinced. They are engaging right now in essentially appears to be character assassinations for the students that they are bringing up to try and convince folks that their batshit insane so called program is what's best and going to help these kids. So, we're going to do what we usually do by pointing out every single elephant not being addressed in the room and pointing out every single red flag. Just know it is going to be happening. It is extremely triggering. And we all know I'm known to rant here, right? Okay. So, what I noticed because I paraphrased the last part of the paragraph we just went over is right here. Our AG has been able to participate in field trips and have lunch with his mother in a restaurant following an outpatient appointment. Neurotypicals. Why? Why do I have to repeat myself into infinity to the point that even when my ass is in a nursing home and senile, I'm still going to be repeating to you that we will do the things you want us to do in the way that you want us to do them and be your perfect fictionalized ideal of what a neurotypical kid is supposed to be. But that does not mean that these activities they're listing here are actually things we're interested in or wanting to do. They're not. At all. Okay? And remember, I've used my own life as a reference in regards to this. Because I did those extra outings that I absolutely had zero interest in and had no motivation to engage in, including even getting dressed up and having to suffer through a freaking debutante ball during my tail end of junior year of high school. I did not want to do it. I did not want to get dressed up. I didn't want to flounce and try to show off in front of other people. None of those things held any interest or concern for me. But you better bet that I convinced my aunt everyone else around me that I did so that they would leave me alone. That's without the threat of violence on my person hanging over my neck like the poor kids at the JRC. Okay? That was literally just to get people off my back and as far away from my business as one can get a person considering you're still in high school at the time. I didn't have any interest in that. I didn't want to socialize with those people. This is later high school. I already understood at that point that those bullies that had made my life hell from elementary school till the last year of middle school were not the kind of people I wanted to make friends with or associate with. I did it not because I wanted to, not because I enjoyed it, but to just get these people off my back and to have them leave me alone for a decent amount of time afterwards. I called it unnecessary evil. Literally. Okay? But going to the restaurant with his mother were before he would misbehave. Let me explain this to you again for the billionth time. I did that stuff too. Particularly not that long after I had first gotten into that assistive living apartment that I transitioned into literally the day after high school. Did I want to go to the mall? I'd rather be shot by multiple mortar rounds to the forehead. You don't understand how deeply I detest the mall or clothes shopping. I'd rather be shot. I'd rather have a broken leg. I'd rather be puking my guts out for a solid 3 hours with no rest. Okay? Abandon all hope, ye who enter here, should be like chiseled in concrete above every single mall that still exists. I'm just saying. But you wouldn't do them before, and now, again, we're not doing them because we want to. We enjoy them and we want to socialize in the way that you want us to socialize. We're doing it to get you all off our back. And yes, we will go the extra mile and work to fool you into believing that we are actually enjoying these things when in actuality we are loathing it with the entirety of our whole soul. All as a means to get you people to back off. Because otherwise, you neurotypicals have an extremely bad habit of maneuvering yourselves into our lives and trying to shape us in your own image. It's invasive, it's annoying, and it makes me thank my lucky stars every day for the invention of the punching and the kickboxing bags. Just say, it's a good workout, it's healthy, and it allows me to get my aggression out in a way that works best for me where nobody else is going to get hurt. I might get hurt if I kick the bag too hard and it swings back on me, which has happened. Embarrassing, I know. But you get my point, right? JRC using this as a means to show progression is done for a reason, though. Because this is neurotypical measurement of what they think progression is for people like us. All the things we wanted you to do, but you didn't want to, now you're going out and doing them, you're socializing. Obviously, that's progress, right? No, Karen, it is 100% not. And as a matter of fact, as somebody who's actually gone through it, be a little honest here. The moment I had to no longer do that crap, I spent a good chunk of about 3 years of, if I wasn't at work, avoiding any and all social situations of any kind whatsoever as I possibly could get away with. A detox from way too much goddamn peopling. You know? But you still went out with your mom. Here's the difference. Going out to the restaurants with people who are being friendly because they want something out of you is not quite the same as going to a place you've gone to with your mom since you were 5, where you know the restaurant staff. They know your favorite by heart, and it is a familiar safe space. I know I rant against safe spaces, but in this particular situation, just go with me here. I also know when it's just me and my mom, because my mom is every bit as antisocial as I am, what makes it a safe space is that if both of us get irritated enough, my mom has no more qualms than I do to get up and leave the place, even if the people around us feel that that is rude behavior. So that's a safe bet. The going out to dinner with friends and all of that, again, depends on the situation. Let's put it that way. It's not something I want to do frequently all the time, because peopling and plastering on a mask, public persona, to go out in public and do these things, it's not fun or enjoyable. The reason why that is we have to focus so hard on pretending to be neurotypical that there is no opportunity to enjoy the interaction. It's just a long time of exhaustion and trying to hide massive boredom. Okay? So, you can't use that as a measure of progress. Because when times call for it, the whole fake it till you make it is something we all know how to do. It is, however, exhausting. Your brain has to be firing on all 4 cylinders with absolutely no breaks, thinking about every single thing. Where do I look around? Do I have to look here? Do I need to look there? What is the tone of voice I need to use when responding to this person? Every little thing. Because it's not natural to us. So, if you have to use that much brain power in order to keep your mask up and acceptable to the folks you are out with, how are you supposed to enjoy that? How are you even going to be able to relax in that type of environment when you have to keep in your head all the things that you need to do to keep that mask up and keep it convincing? You can't. Which is why these days, thank you middle age, I only do the outings I want to do. like going out to Silver Dollar City, or going out and staying for the weekend up at Osage Beach at the Tantera Resort. Or maybe it's going into Columbia to stay at the Stony Creek Inn. Maybe it is going to New Jersey to visit my dad's folks. Maybe it's going out to my mom's house, like Christmas, where we had tacos. It was awesome. If you haven't had a taco Christmas, I highly recommend it. It is the best thing in the world. You get what I'm saying, right? At this point in my life, they have understood I am now middle-aged and cranky, so I don't have to agree to any type of social obligation that I don't want to. And God, the freedom. I do outings on occasion with fellow autistics, but kind of like it's the same thing with my mom. That is a safe space. And usually the type of outings I go on with my fellow neurodivergent friends are actually things we are interested in. And I'm able to info dump to my heart's content. And so are they. And this is why, folks, where I get most of my social skills that I use now all comes from first getting associated in that circle of friends. Because it's a safe space. Info dumping is our love language, and nobody finds it particularly rude if we just randomly blurt out and go into info dumping. Because we all do it. Nobody views it as rude, and those who are in the group with you that also find that subject interesting but may have studied a rare piece that you didn't catch will then also begin info dumping. And I'm sorry, it is so much fun. To be real. And it's also nice to not have that constant pressure of having to take everything in and pretend to be something that you're not. I bring this up because you cannot use that as a measure of whether a program is successful or not, because we do learn to mask. We do learn how, within that mask, to make it look like we are enjoying the social obligation. We are not. But we do it so that we can get what I like to call my one visit for the year, where I can have the rest of the year to be left the fuck alone. Okay? It's not a measure of progress in regards to anyone's treatment program. The real measure is the full functional behavioral assessment. When your treatment program is being done right, you should be getting assessed at the very least about every 3 years or so to reevaluate what is working. What about the medication? How is that treating you? How has it affected things in the areas where you still need help? Do the dosage need to go up? Is it okay to maybe bring it down a little bit? It evolves as you evolve. Each assessment and reassessment is necessary so that you can continue to navigate and work on the areas that you do need. And when there's a specific thing that you no longer need any assistance with, you don't have to continue to do it anyway. All right, we're going to close out on that before I go into take another left and go into a left field and take another left. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few we do get do tend to get removed from time to time. So please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time, folks. As always, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. And speaking of resting from social obligations, even ones I am happy to undertake where it's not quite as stressful, I'm going to enjoy my second day of fetching, staring at the TV, and watching documentaries and reading my Cambridge medieval history textbooks. Bye bye, everyone.